Welcome to Cape Fear Business Roundtable. I'm Frank Williams. This is a brand new podcast that's going to focus on businesses, business people, business issues, and an occasional nonprofit here in southeastern North Carolina. And it's sponsored by Pioneer Strategies and Pioneer Specialties, and I am a co-owner of both companies, and we'll talk more about those mixed in with the conversation later. But today I'm excited to welcome our very first podcast guest, which is my friend and the executive director of the North Brunswick Chamber of Commerce here in Leland, Dana Fisher. Dana, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you taking time.
Thank you for
And
asking me.
and we'll go ahead and jump right on in. One thing that this area has seen a ton of recently is growth and new people moving in. So I'm going to probably start out every podcast by asking every guest, are you a newcomer or have you been here your whole life or something in between? And if you're new, what brought you here? And if you're somebody who's been here, tell us a little bit about your experience observing the changes you've seen in the area.
Okay, well, I moved here right after I graduated from New Bern High School, so I did not go far. But I've, met a lot of people here, between New Hanover County, Brunswick County. So it has grown tremendously
Absolutely.
compared to what it used to be. I'm glad to see the growth, and um, so anyway, I'm here.
Well, and you mentioned that you've met a lot of people, and that may be the understatement of the podcast because everybody that I know seems to know you. And everywhere I go, people say they know Dana Fisher. So you are certainly someone who is out and about and networked on both sides of the Cape Fear River, which is something that, that's a divide that has been there for a long time. And I think you do a great job of bridging that divide. But obviously you moved from one part of the coast to another. What do you love about this part of the state? What makes you continue to want to call this home?
Well, I mean, I've been here so long, it is home. I know a lot of people here. So going back to New Bern, where I'm from, I don't know that many people there because everybody had to leave to go get a job.
Right.
So, because there was only 2 or 3 places there that you could work and maintain a residence there, not
And
unless your
that
parents run the business.
that was the case here for a long time. People would go to college and couldn't come home because there was nowhere to work. And I think that's changing with the growth. And certainly your chamber has a lot of those new businesses as members. Before we get into business, tell us a little bit about what is your favorite non-work either place to go or thing to do or place to eat in this part of the state.
Okay, well, I work over in Brunswick County. I try to socialize more in New Hanover because that's where I live. But I love going to Terrazzo's. Let's see, they are locally owned by Michael and Maria Acatado.
Okay.
Cape Fear Seafood, which is either by my house or the one here in Leland, and that's owned by Evan Trawick. And Olympia Restaurant, which is on Oleander, which is Greek. So and it's
Absolutely.
started out being owned by, well, still is owned by Nick, but Nick passed away, and so his kids run it now. So I tend to stick to local homegrown
And
businesses.
yeah, I try to do that whenever I can. I love when I go to another town to try to go to something that's not a chain. And
Right.
I don't know what this says about me, but a lot of my questions when I talk to people center around food. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but I like food.
Well,
Well,
so
tell us a
according if
little
you
bit
like
about your career
Italian,
journey and how what all you've done in your career and how it led you to be the director of the North Brunswick Chamber.
quite by accident, um, I started out doing accounting work, debits and credits. I mean, I ran my first 3K race doing debits and credits in my head. Um, and then I went to work for Olympic Mortgage, which was, I tutored under Rick Stinson, who owns Alpha Graphics now.
Absolutely.
And then Bradford Mortgage, which is Alan Efteen. And then I happened to pop in here at the chamber when Terry Grillo was here, and she says, "Oh, I'm leaving." She was going to work for Cape Side Animal, and they're looking for someone. And so George Murray, who owns now Mimi and Papa's, and Peggy O'Leary, as well as Brenda Bozeman, as well as Frank, said, "Okay, she's not all bad."
Well, how long have you been with the chamber now? It's almost like I can't remember you not being here, so I don't know how many years that's been.
Well, March 17th, this coming March 17th will be 15 years.
15. Wow. So you started on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
There's a whole different story there probably about St. Patrick's Day, but
Oh, yes.
uh, well, before we jump into the next bit, I do want to talk about one of our sponsors, which is my company, Pioneer Strategies. And Pioneer Strategies is a public relations and strategic communication firm based here in Leland. And to learn more about how Pioneer Strategies can help you or your business build success through effective strategic communication, you can check out pioneerstrategies.com. And our staff is going to provide technical support and marketing support for this podcast throughout its existence. And we're certainly excited about getting it going. Well, tell us a little bit, jumping back into business, tell us a little bit about the chamber, what areas the chamber tends to focus in, what kind of services you do for members, and then kind of the growth you've seen since you've been from your first day to now the 15th year that's coming up.
Okay, well, my service area is from the time you come across the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge until Highway 211. So we sort of segment it out. That doesn't mean I don't have Wilmington people that have joined the chamber, or Charlotte people,
Right.
or Southport people. But if they do business in my area, I like to talk to them first to make sure you're joining the right chamber.
Absolutely.
Then we have so many things that we offer, for the chamber, that like our Power Connections, which was started by you, Frank Williams, and Zach Drennan, and thank you for that. But we have grown it to where we have a steady 55 to 60 people there the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. So that's a lot of people to have to know and
Absolutely.
communicate with. But then we have the Business Expo that's coming up March the 1st. And we have a lot of businesses that are taking part in that. I mean, the people that live in this area, you should attend it, because if you're looking for HVAC, dental, let's see, I made a list of all the things that are a handyman service, administrative services, fitness, insurance. If you're looking for that, we've got it there. And that is March the 1st at the Leland Cultural Arts Center, and it goes from 10 until 2. We have Women's Business Alliance, which is this coming Friday. It is the second Friday of each month. That was started by Deb Pickett with Signature Wealth. So we've got a lot of board members, past and present, that have created a lot of what we've got going on in this chamber.
And I've certainly seen the chamber grow over time. And, obviously, for you, I think there are probably a lot of other things you could do that would pay you a lot more than you get paid to be the director of the chamber. So tell me why you love what you do. Obviously, you've got a passion for this.
Well, I love meeting the people and the new businesses. I mean, it's like every time you walk out the door, there's somebody new that you're meeting.
Absolutely.
So, you've got to have a passion for that, because the job that I started out in many moons ago, you were in a room and you never met anybody. So now I meet tons of people.
And I know you well enough to know that you enjoy meeting people. That seems to be one of those things that if I had to say one thing about Dana's a networker and somebody who likes to socialize and meet new people.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk briefly about our second sponsor, which is Pioneer Specialties. And Pioneer Specialties is your promotional products partner. And with access to over 1 million products from 4,300 suppliers worldwide, Pioneer Specialties can put your logo on just about anything. And the biggest thing is the team at Pioneer Specialties will do the research so you don't have to, and manage the order process so you can focus on running your business. And to learn more about that, go to pioneerspecialties.promo. And yes, that's the correct domain extension, pioneerspecialties.promo. And I hope you'll check that out. My final question business question I was going to ask you, you've already touched on a little bit, and that was about the Business Expo. I know a few years ago we helped the chamber with a citizen survey and had quite a few residents of northern Brunswick County complete that. And overwhelmingly, the people who completed it said that they prefer to do business with people in their community and to support local businesses. But we still see a lot of people drive across the bridge to Wilmington for things they could do right here in Leland and for services they could get right here in Leland. So that to me is why people should come to this expo. The businesses that are here in this community and support this community will be behind tables there. And I would reemphasize what Dana said. If you're living in Leland or Leland area, Belville, this area, come to that expo and meet the businesses that function right here. And I've
That's
kind of
right.
developed the mentality I'm willing to pay a little more to do business with somebody locally if I can. Everybody's talking about the price of eggs lately. I've been buying my eggs from a local farmer, and I'm paying right around what I would pay in the store, maybe a little more, but I'm supporting someone who lives right here, and I think that's important. So remind them one more time when and where that expo is, and about
Okay.
Dana.
A business expo is March the 1st at the Leland Cultural Arts Center, which is 1212 Magnolia Village Way, and it goes from 10 until 2. And we have so many vendors there. So you will find everything that you're looking for, but we want the local people to come. You know, it's good networking for the businesses to learn everybody that's here, but it's also important for everybody that lives here to know
Absolutely.
all the businesses that are here.
Absolutely. And if you're one of the people who filled out that survey and said you want to do business with local businesses and you don't have anything happening on Saturday, March the 1st during that time frame, it's a chance to put your money behind that statement and come out and meet those local businesses. So I hope you'll do that. I will unfortunately be traveling that day, but a member of my team will be there and we'll have a booth there. I'll be in Washington D.C. I'd actually probably rather be here. It'd be a lot more fun and probably a lot better weather in Brunswick County. But definitely
I mean,
attend that expo if you can. Go ahead, Dana.
we've got great weather here, so I am
Most of the
praying
time.
for perfect weather that day.
And if you want to learn more about what's going on at the chamber, the website is northbrunswickchamber.com, and that's easy to remember. The information on the expo and other chamber events are coming up. If you're looking for a local business, go to that website and click on the member directory, and you can search. If you're a business and you're not in the chamber, go to that website and click on the link to join. My company is a member of all three chambers in Brunswick County, plus the Wilmington Chamber, because I believe it's important to be involved and give back to the local business community if we want it to grow and thrive. Well, changing gears a little bit, obviously you're coming up on your 15th year at the chamber. What lessons have you learned during that 15 years that you wish you had known on day one? Anything you'd want to share?
How to be a survivor, for
How to
one
be a
thing,
survivor.
because in 2010 when I started, the economy was not at its best. It was slowly creeping back up. Then we had Florence, then we've had COVID, we've had flooding, and we've
Absolutely.
had to adjust to each one of them because there's events that you schedule because you're scheduling it, 6 months to a year in
Absolutely.
advance. And we've had to change it, due to a hurricane coming through or massive flooding, which wipes out roads. And
Absolutely.
so um, there's just a lot of things that you've learned that way. But overall, life is good. I mean, it is a wonderful job, wonderful people, wonderful members. It's everything about this chamber I can't say anything bad about. I mean, the
Yeah.
local chambers, Wilmington Chamber is different than ours. The other chambers are different than ours because they each serve a geographical area.
Absolutely. And I've made some great friends through the chamber over the years. I mean, I met you through the chamber, and you were in our wedding. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, that tells you something about that. So it's a great way not just to do business, but to make friends with people who live right here. Well, to kind of close this out, I like to always ask some personal questions, and I picked this up from a podcast I was on where he asked me what kind of music I listen to. But what types of movies or TV shows do you typically enjoy the most?
Well, since I mainly fall asleep during most of them, I'll watch a lot of reruns. of Matlock, Diagnosis Murder, Murder She Wrote, Monk. So it's murder mysteries, I guess, you know. So I guess
Yeah.
but they put me to sleep, so that's good.
Some shows put me to sleep. I have learned not to watch certain crime shows right before I go to sleep, or I will dream about them, and that's not what I want to be dreaming about at night. But I know how that can certainly be a good sleep aid if you pick the right show. Was there anything else you'd like to share about yourself, or about the chamber, or about the community?
Um, just watch our website because of all the events that we've got coming
Absolutely.
up. Uh, and Pioneer Strategies, who does our website. Uh, we have got some, that's up to me to do some of the upgrades on the calendar, but we've got that handled. So I will be listing all of our things that are coming up. So please try to attend.
And there's also a link on the website where the public can sign up to get notifications about community events. I would encourage you go to that website and find that link as well if you live in northern Brunswick County. And I always kind of broke it down. If your zip code's 28451 or 28479, you probably need to be on that list because that's how you can learn about the people who are in your community. Certainly it branches a little further south into other zip codes, but that is the hub of the Chambers area. Well, Dana, thank you for being our first guest and our guinea pig to see if all this stuff works right. And we appreciate your time and everything you do for the chamber. If you're watching this online or listening to it on one of the podcast platforms, we appreciate you tuning in for our first episode. And if you want to learn more about what other episodes are coming up, please go to capefearbusiness.com. You can sign up there for emails or follow us on social media. And thank you for joining the very first episode of the Cape Fear Business Roundtable.
Thank you for having me.